Anybody who knows me really well knows that I'm absolutely crazy about cars. And if I could have any one car myself, of any car that was ever made ever, it would have to come from the group of cars known collectively as pre-war Alfas. I'm an absolute sucker for Alfa Romeos in the 20s and 30s, particularly the Mille Miglia edition of the 1938 6C Spyder. It is my single favorite car in the whole wide world. I would sacrifice any sacrifice to get my hands on one. Now, those cars are multi-million-dollar cars. But my favorite sport utility in the whole wide world costs a whole lot less, and it is the Toyota Sequoia. Since the day this car was brand new, I thought it was the coolest thing in the whole wide world, especially when it comes with the 5.7-liter engine. Now, earlier Sequoias were pretty cool. They were like big forerunners. But starting in '07, when the next generation of Sequoia, which is really our current generation of Sequoia, came out, and it came out with that huge motor, well, that changed everything. That motor makes what's already an amazing sport utility, an amazingly fast sport utility, and that's music to my ears. I love cars that are fast. I love big, comfortable sport utilities. If there's a way to marry the two of them in a way that has very high quality and very high resale value, I'm completely into it. This is a category of one. There is nothing quite like the Sequoia. Not the Tahoe, not the Escalade, not the 4Runner, not anything else out there. There's nothing like a Sequoia. Only a Sequoia is a Sequoia. And it's only really a Sequoia when it has that 5.7-liter motor. I'm going to pop the hood. We're going to take a look starting there. Now, it's a great looking car. Contemporary, not wildly styled or anything like that. Just nice. It's extremely well built and super duper strong. So a lot of vehicles will have big horsepower numbers, even more horsepower than this. But unfortunately, even cars like the Cadillac Escalade, as nice as they are, and I've owned Escalades before, and they're great, it's just they're built on the same platform as a typical Silverado truck, which is a good truck. I'm not here to say anything bad about the Silverado. It's just not nearly as strong as the Tundra truck, which is the underpinnings for the Sequoia. The Tundra pickup truck is the single best built truck that there is, bar none, and by quite a wide margin. So I get a lot of people who say, oh, I like Dodge Rams. I like Dodge Rams. I like Fords. I like all the big trucks. I think they're great. It's just only one of them is the best, and it is definitely the Toyota. So what makes for a great truck also makes for a great sport utility. And so you take a super duper strong chassis and you put 381 horsepower and 401 foot-pounds of torque in under the hood, and you've got a very successful recipe for something that is super duper fun to drive. And then, more importantly, sky-high resale value, because they've earned that trust. People know that they last a long, long, long time. Now, looking at this one, it's just going through certification right now. So hopefully my technicians don't assume that these tires are going to pass certification, because there's no chance that they ever will. Certified car means it needs to be just like brand new, and those tires don't look just like brand new to me. However, what does look just like brand new is the interior, which looks great. All Sequoias have a wonderful interior, and so it doesn't matter if you get the small motor, which is the 4.6 liter with 310 horsepower, or this 5.7 liter with 381 horsepower. You still get the same great layout on the interior. Leather wrapped steering wheel. Now, I'm a sucker for cloth, and so if you ask my wife's a sucker for leather. We have a sport utility, you know that it has leather. However, if it were me, this is just how I'd hook it up. Cloth interior with a moonroof and a nice stereo system, big huge motor, yeah, this is what I'm all about. It has center locking differential, tow haul mode, doesn't tow a ton, 7,400 pounds, well, I guess it literally tows a little over 3.5 tons, but the 7,400 pounds is not a giant amount of weight by today's standards, but, I mean, what are you towing that's more than 7,400 pounds? Back seat. Okay, so the second row, I'm super comfortable in the front row. Yeah, the second row. Cross my legs, no problem. I'm 6 feet tall. I'm all kinds of comfortable back here. You have that theater style seating so that my elevation is higher than the elevation of the chair in front of me. So I have great visibility out at the windshield. I feel super comfortable. I mean, there's just a world of space back here. There's actually nice space in the third. What I like about this package is that there's no center console right here. The center console in the middle really screws everything up because you end up taking it out. That's what we did. And so you end up taking it out, leaving it in the garage. You got to find somewhere near the garbage cans or over by the water heater or whatever it is, just to find a home for it, because it doesn't get used. If you have a third row seat, you're going to use the third row seat. You're going to use it all the time. And so you want the kids to be able to jump in and out, no problem. You're pulling up to school, they're jumping in, they're jumping out, they're doing what they're doing. You don't have time on a rainy day. Everybody's got giant book bags in their hands and everything like that. They just want to get in, they want to get out. They don't want to go through a lot of procedures and a lot of motions just to get into the third row seat. This is just how I do this. Jumping in the back, again, every one that you're going to find is going to be set up to tow. And they tow 7,400 pounds, so definitely not at the head of the class. And so a lot of companies will brag we'll tow 10,000, 11,000 pounds, but that's awesome if you're towing cattle or something like that. It's just even a real big boat doesn't weigh 7,400 pounds. And then, of course, one of the great things about the Toyota is it has the amazing brakes. I mean, amazing brakes. This car stops from 60 miles an hour to 0 miles an hour in 127 feet. For comparison, Acura just came out with their all-new TLX, very sophisticated, very cool. It stops from 60 to 0 in almost the exact same distance. This is a giant sport utility based on a truck. This isn't today's modern sporty sedan. And so to stop as fast as today's contemporary car does is a real feat of engineering. All big Toyota trucks have really big brakes. That's just how it is. And so it's got the fold-down rear seat and the, got a little garbage in the back here. So now everybody in detail is fired as well as everybody in service if they think this thing passed certified inspection. But overall, it looks really, really nice. I mean, it's a pure original car. This is just how we took it in on trade. It probably hasn't even been detailed yet. But it's nice when people take good care of their car. When it looks good on trade-in, it's probably a pretty decent car. We like to go the extra mile and certify them all the same, because certification, well, what's peace of mind worth? I mean, it's worth a lot when you're spending $38,000, $37,000 on a pre-owned vehicle. You want to make sure that you're covered. Toyota's generous enough where they give you a 100,000 mile powertrain warranty, and then 12 months, 12,000 miles starting today, bumper to bumper type of warranty. We're not allowed to call it bumper to bumper warranty anymore. We have to call it comprehensive warranty because the bumpers themselves are not covered under the warranty. Taking a look on the passenger side, well, sure, it looks great. It's a great color combination. It's in superb original condition. So original that it's got those original tires on it. Needs to be replaced. But it's a great car. Let's turn it on and take a listen to it. One thing about that big motor, it's not particularly loud. In fact, it's not loud at all. It has a very mellow exhaust note. So sometimes, particularly on the domestic vehicles, they have a really loud exhaust note, which sounds awesome on the test drive. It sounds awesome all the time, actually. It just can be a bit intrusive for a more relaxed type of daily drive. And certainly, if both the husband and wife are driving the car, you know, my wife's not a big thrill seeker, and so she doesn't need some giant exhaust pipe. She doesn't need to sound like she's out there pounding her chest or anything like that. She just likes to get the radio rocking, be able to listen to what's going on in the car. And so this nice mellow exhaust note doesn't compromise the power at all, actually. It's still almost 400 horsepower. It's, again, extraordinarily powerful. Gets decent gas mileage. I mean, everything about it. It's a great sport utility, and there's nothing quite like it. 18 cubic feet behind the third row seat. None of these other sport utilities have that. You always have to take the third row seats out. All that space in the second row seat, space in the third row seat, too. Space up front. Just an awesome, awesome, awesome truck. My absolute favorite sport utility in the whole wide world. And if you have any questions about this particular Sequoia or anything that we have here at Toyota of Seattle or Honda of Seattle, please feel free to reach me anytime. My name is Joe Tunney. I'm the pre-owned director of both Honda of Seattle and Toyota of Seattle. Reach me anytime at joet@hondaofseattle.com.